Alright, soon we're recording here, not gonna bother editing. Yo, what's up guys? Back out with another video, and today it's your boy Astral Studios here, and we're gonna be doing Season 1 tier list. I will say that not all villagers are here, just the main one that people really enjoyed. Twilight's Village, I didn't put all of them, including, uh, Mordox's. I did some of them, not all of them. I know I got Village 1 and 2 here. Main ones. So yeah. Um I do want to say that I thank each and every one of you the support. I hope you've liked the previous season 2 thing. Honestly. Looking pretty good. But with further ado, let's start off with a bang, I guess. We're gonna start off with Faceless now. Faceless is a bit kind of hard to do since he can pretty much mimic people's powers he turns into. I would honestly say he's very skillful and well, he's intelligent, but he does have a big ego, and that does get in the head of him. Um, but he is pretty precisive on stuff, so I think I'm gonna put this guy in B tier, honestly, because he's not that he's not as he's not that powerful at the start because I mean he did just wake up, so we're going by season 1 here. Baker Red. Okay. He was very smart, I'd say, but he didn't know how to fight or use powers, but he was pretty good, I'd say. I'd say he's pretty much more of a support. I think he's more of like the person that in a situation just tries to think what's the best option. And I will say I will admire his bravery when Mayhem had, went after them and he just was out in the open, wasn't scared of death. So I'm going to give him a. We'll put him in D. We'll put him in D. Dark Steve. Okay. So I'll be open and honest here. I'm going to say I don't think Dark Steve was even that strong in the series because I'm going to compare him to the other minions of Void Steve, and honestly, I'd say Soul and Corrupt, yes, he's stronger than them, but I don't think Mayhem, because Mayhem's first fight he actually lost was against Faceless, but, Dark Steve lost countless times, so. Yeah, pretty much I'd definitely say, I'd say above Faceless, and I will get into why of that because I do think he's strong, agility, and all that, but it's just not topping what being top 1 minion, honestly. Brave Red, definitely, I would say this in my opinion, definitely somewhere in below Void because imagine just one simple fireball managed to hurt Void pretty much. I'd honestly say, and that's something not a lot of people, even for example, even if Torres came up to them, strike him, he wouldn't feel it wouldn't do anything. Same with even Mayhem, and that's kind of insane. So definitely somewhere in the A tier list, in my opinion. You can contradict what I'm saying, that's fine. I don't think we know enough on Builder to say anything, honestly, because we haven't seen him much, but I can say at the current season 1 perspective, he's not that strong, so I'm gonna put him in E tier because he is the apprentice of Mordox and all, so that sounds good. Shy Yellow, I would actually put in. I would put him in C, honestly. I might say that's kind of dumb of me doing that. No, D, top D, because Shy was able to use powers, and he was trained by Torres, probably one of the strongest Yellow Steves out of skill and combat, fourth strongest Yellow Steve, which I never explained to you throughout the series. But I would honestly put him in D. Being trained by someone like Torres, I think he would be there. I would say he'd be above there if he was trained longer, but I don't think much. I hate to say this. Emo Red, I don't think you're cutting it. I'm sorry about this, but F tier. You don't have no combat, and you kind of just avoid everyone all the time. So I'd have to go with that. If we get more interactions, then maybe. Hyper Yellow, I would actually put Hyper. I'd actually put Hyper before Baker, honestly, because Hyper, you can already tell that Hyper's actually gained some attributes of power wise in Steve's, because honestly, Hyper is, you could tell by his movement speed and all of that. Like when you go look at if you go look at the episodes, then you could tell his speed's a bit higher than what Shy's is. And I'd actually put him above Shy. I'm sorry to say that, but no, he's definitely stronger than Shy. I think if there was an actual fight, then yeah, in my opinion. Although he doesn't know how to do lightning yet, so still Shy. So Dream, I don't want to do them like this, but I do feel as Faceless is stronger. I'd have to put you in C. And the reason why I'd say Dream would be in C tier is Dream can't control the amount of power they use. So, honestly, C tier would be where they're at. Because just that one attack when they fought against Soul that one day at Mordox's village, honestly, that fight right there kind of just drained her instantly. I mean, him, but whatever you say. Just drain them out of their whole energy. I think if they learn to control that more, then they would be above there. But I will say that Dream, this is just season 1. Faceless, this is just Faceless at the start of it. I hate to say this, but I'd have to put him and below Dream at that point, because I do know Dream was stronger as this Faceless at the start. Elemental, honestly, can't say anything much on it. You'd have to put him in the question mark, because you can't really determine that. Because only time we really saw Elemental was one time, and that was just him and Steve arguing at the Great Library. Definitely would have to say that. Sorry, but Elemental, you gotta go in question mark. I don't plan on doing you dirty though. Go, Steve. Y'all might call me crazy about this, but it's already been shown that I've said it multiple times. Him and Faceless have been trapped in there for a while, storing up energy, and honestly, I would have to put him like, I'd have to say put him right there in S tier. And yeah. Now, I will say the reason why is the fact that we can already tell he's pretty strong. He had no problem, and I also think he solos Dark with no questions asked in any of them. I think at that current he could probably go toe to toe with Void, being storing up all of that energy from the dead, the energy of the past on. Honestly, that's my opinion on it. It was kind of a thing. But yeah, if you disagree with that, that's fine. Dummy option, you know. The Great Librarian, haven't seen enough to tell. As you could tell, he is very strong because he wasn't scared of time or elemental, and they just backed off, I would honestly say. So you'd have to go, I'd definitely say he is stronger than elemental, so you go above him there. Greedy, honestly, I'd have to put him I'd say that these two it's kind of hard to decide about, but I do definitely say Baker has a bit more bravery and his endurance was good because he didn't die so quick to Mayhem right there, and that's a very big achievement. But this guy kind of died too a bit too quick. But it is Void Steve, but you know. Brave Light Steve, not enough information, but as I could probably say, he's the only Light Steve out of that group that had powers. So we'll put you above Shy. Actually, no. We'll put you here. Because honestly, no, actually, you put you there. Yeah. Just the regular lights, I would have to say they're not to be underestimated, so high E tier. Definitely above you. Mayhem, honestly. Actually, no, actually, I think Ghosty would be an A tier because thinking about it, I do think Brave Red and it's is weaker than that all, so my opinion. Now, Mayhem, I'd actually say definitely put him in A tier because he's never lost a fight and he kind of just made Zyphon a leader just look like some absolute joke. Along with Mordox, they were just absolute jokes and Mordox is the strongest Orange Steve to be kind of out there. And honestly, nah. Nah. Mordox just I'm sorry, but it's the strongest Orange Steve. I'd actually put him there, and if he didn't really bother Mayhem definitely stronger. Um, Mean Orange, as much as I don't like him as a character, I'm one to admit he's just not incredibly useless to storyline. But we're not going by storyline. But I also say he's not just incredibly useless to the village at all. Honestly, I would say Mean actually is a very good defense because I'll be real. I mean, he's not really scared. He'll just be mean to anyone he sees. And going by that in general, he just punches anyone. And when Astral first appeared, he did the same. So that's where I'll put him. Mordox, on the other hand, and at first, I'll admit I did not like Mordox, but I do now. And Mordox, I think, just needs a bit more love, honestly. So, honestly, Mordox, you should go in. I actually think Mordox should go in between, definitely above Faceless, and I'll put you maybe in front of Dark Steve because I don't think Dark Steve wins. Actually, no. Combat wise, you go there. So Dark Steve's still stronger because I know he's not a really good fighter. I think it's just he's has high energy. Nosy, I don't really think they got it in them. All they do is really get in people's business, and that's something that you just don't want. So he's just gonna get in like Dark Steve's business and just die immediately. So definitely needs to go in F tier. I'd actually say Emo deserves a bit more. Corrupt. Honestly, he's stronger than Soul, so but I do think Dream is actually stronger. But I don't think the beginning of Faceless is. Soul, I actually think it's kind of in between, but I do know Soul is weaker because he's better at combat, and this one's just more smart than the I think, but it is pretty strong. So I put him there. Lazy Mint, nah, you're going in F. You can't just say, "Oh, yeah, no, I should be up there," but like, no, you can't because honestly, if you think about it, he's just lazy. All right, let's just be real. There's nothing we need to do about that. Now, time, I would actually have to put him high. And I actually got a reason why we have enough information to do this. He stopped time with no issue. So definitely, I don't think he's stronger than Ghost, even though he did freeze Ghost. But that's just time in general. But I do think he he is a bit like in the A tier spectrum. Torres, I'd hate to say this, but I would, and this is not biased at all. I think Torres, because I didn't play as them, but I love Torres. And honestly, I think he's up here somewhere. Because Torres went toe to toe with Dark, no problem, pretty easy. First time wasn't the best, but second time demolished the floor, and I actually think he would demolish Mayhem because he also went toe to toe with Void with Astro on his side. So definitely would put you there. Twilight, I will admit, if he would be higher. The reason why he wouldn't, he has so much energy, and I actually think I'll put him somewhere in probably B tier. I'd say he put him here because he's not strong in Faceless, but his energy, because he's like as old as Faceless when he was alive, and he's been alive that long, his energy is still pretty ancient, but he's very old. And honestly, I think that he just is pretty much defense-wise not that much, because in against Corrupt, they just dodged the attacks and attacked afterwards and messed with Corrupt's mind. So I'm gonna come back to Void in them because I want to get it more into the reason why there's two. Xiphon, definitely I'm gonna put you. I'd say Xiphon needs to go in C tier, below Dream. I think Dream's stronger, honestly, because Xiphon isn't that strong. As you could tell, he gets bodied almost every time, even by the two weakest. So actually, no, you go below them. I don't think that this Faceless, though, would beat him, though. So I think this is that Science Steve, I think. I think that's Explorer. Definitely, I'd say F tier. And I'd say Emo. I'd say you're a bit above that. But honestly, it's Explorer, and I would say he's a bit higher than Nosy too. Still don't think he's above Emo, because I think Emo would survive longer. And I would definitely say that this Emo's a bit weaker than that one. Kind Orange just died, but it was too Soul and Corrupt, but I don't think he's that strong at all. I honestly don't. But I do think that he's more scared and more like doesn't have that in him to be like, yeah, he does. He's pretty I don't think valid explanation is I think Kind just in general combat energy and all that just didn't have it in him to be up there like at the A tier, B tier, or that. I think he is an F, but I do actually will say that I do think he'd be above them because I do think. Wait, no, they're alive, so no, yeah, but I do think he's higher than Lazy, opinion wise. Scribe, Blue, Steve. Honestly, put him above Builder because I do think that he's more intelligent and could probably survive longer than what Builder can. But I also think that if it came to it, as in now season 1, that if them two had fought, I think Scribe would win. So, opinion wise, yeah. All right. We'll go back to we'll do Serious Yellow. Honestly, he's serious. He could probably fight. He put Faceless in his place when we got back to the village, so he kept him in line. Definitely would have to put you above me. Therapist Green. I would put you. I would actually put you around behind Greedy. No, I'd put you. Yeah, that's fair. D tier, low D tier is pretty good. Now, Void Steve. I would honestly say Void Steve would. This is the evil Void Steve, and this is like Seer trying to take control. I would honestly have to put you around. I don't think that he'd be an. You know what? Yeah, no, I think that one would be an S tier. But then when Seer's trying to kind of take control, I would say A tier. Astral, honestly, this is not biased at all. I think it's undetermined, but out of season one, out of what we've seen, it would be. It's not undetermined, actually. What am I saying? I'd say he'd be somewhere. I'd say he'd be somewhere in B tier. I'd actually say by the end of season one, he's stronger than Dark. Heck, I actually think he's behind Torres. But that's just me not being biased at all because he's my character. But honestly, Astral, as we could tell, is a lot stronger than we think. And honestly, that makes sense why he was able to take down Void, because Torres, we did see him there, and we're not going to count him there. I would actually put you in S tier, thinking about Ghost. Put you above him. I'd actually say he's stronger than Season 1 Void. So, my opinion. If you don't agree with anything on this tier list, that is fine. You could tell me that in the comments, but I guess I'm Astral Studios, and we out. Bye!